Hi everybody, welcome to physics teacher classes. Today we are going to discuss different types of forces. What is that? Different types of forces. Okay, so in our previous session we learnt what is force, what are the units, and how to calculate net force we have seen. Today we are going to discuss what are the different types of forces exist in the nature. Let us discuss. So these all forces are broadly classified into two groups. One is non-contact force, and second one is contact force. Clear? One is non-contact force, second one is contact force. Okay, so the name itself you can understand what is non-contact, what is contact. So let us see what is meant by non-contact force. So in non-contact force means the force applied on an object without touching the body. Okay, simply without touching the body. Simply. Okay, so a force is acting on the body by another body or another agent without touching it. Those forces are called non-contact forces, right? So contact forces means a force is acting on the body with a physical contact, Clear? These are called contact forces. Clear, Nana? Right, contact and non-contact forces. So what are the examples of these non-contact forces? So the examples of non-contact forces are, first one is gravitational force. What is that? Gravitational force. Okay, and second one is magnetic force. What is that? Magnetic force. And third one is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force. These three are non-contact forces. So without touching the object, these forces can interact. Now coming to contact forces, what are the examples? What are the non-contact forces? Contact forces. One is muscular force. One is muscular force, or it can be called as applied force also. It can be called as applied force also. Okay, and the second one is in contact forces, the second one is normal force. What is that, Nana? Normal force. This is also comes under contact force. And the third one is tension force. Simply it is called as tension. Okay, and the fourth one is friction. What is that? Friction or frictional force. Okay, these are the contact forces. How many? 4. Non-contact forces 3. Total how many forces? 7 forces. About these 7 we are going to learn in different types of forces. Okay, so the important thing is, whenever you are going to learn about a force, you should learn 3 things about those forces. Okay, 3 things, very important. Whenever you learn a force, any force, you must learn these 3 things. One is its definition. Okay, second one is when it acts. Okay, when that force acts. Okay, when it acts. And the third one is what is its direction. What is its direction? These 3 are very important whenever you learn a force. These 3 things you should learn. Okay, you learn its definition. You should know when that particular force acts and in which direction that force is acting. These are the 3 things you need to remember and you need to learn whenever you are learning a force. Okay, clear? Right, let us learn one by one. Okay, now first we start with the non-contact forces. Okay, very good. So our first non-contact force is what, Nana? Gravitational force. Do you remember? Yeah. So first one is let us discuss gravitational force. Gravitational force. You might have heard the name Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton, or simply Newton. Okay, who discovered gravitational force? You know the story, apple and falling apple on the head of the scientist, and he discovered that. So that story I am not going to tell here. Okay, Sir Isaac Newton discovered gravitational force. Okay, now what is this gravitational force? So gravitational force is defined as very simple. Listen carefully. It is defined as the force with which every object attracts towards the center of the earth. By taking earth, I am defining this one. Okay, what is gravitational force, sir? The force with which every object attracts towards the center of the earth. So actually gravitational force is defined as the force with which every object in the universe attracts another object. Okay, in the universe there are many objects, so there are many planets. Between the planets also gravitational force is there. Okay, between planet and satellites gravitational force exists. That's why we can define the force with which every object in the universe attracts another object. Okay, na sir? So that is known as gravitational force, but for simplicity I have taken earth and I defined here the force with which every object attracts towards the center of the earth. That means, let us take, suppose this is the planet earth. Okay, this is the center of the earth. So you know that when a fruit is detached from the branch of any tree, then what happens? It falls on the surface of the earth. Yes or no? Or else if you drop anything, okay, you raise up to certain height an object and drop it, what happens? It falls on the surface of the earth. That means, why it is falling? It is falling means it is pulled. Yes or no? Okay, it is pulled down. Every object is pulled down on the surface of the earth towards the center of the earth. That means, who are pulling this object down? Okay, this object, fruit, is falling on the ground, or leaf, any leaf, it is detached from that tree, then what happens? It falls on the surface of the earth. Generally we observe, or you take any stone and raise up to some height and drop it, what happens? It falls on the surface of the ground. That means that stone is pulled by the earth. Okay, that pulling we learnt as force. Okay, who are pulling here? Earth is pulling. So that's why this force is known as gravitational force. Okay, na sir? So gravitational force is the force with which every object, okay, you take any object, attracts towards, means attracting here, pulling, okay, towards the earth center, towards the center of the earth. If the object is here, it is pulled in this way. If the object is here, it is pulled in this way. Okay, that is known as what is that? Gravitational force. Clear the definition? Right. Now first one is completed, definition. In this it is denoted by Fg, small g. Okay, gravitational force, a symbol. Clear, Nana? Right. Next one is when it acts. First one definition is completed. Second thing is what? When it acts. When it acts, it always acts. Always acts on the body. Okay, if it has mass. If it has mass, definitely gravitational force exists. We know that without mass, can a body exist? No. Okay, no body can exist without mass. So it always acts on the body, gravitational force. You can remember that one. When a gravitational force acts without troubling much, you close your eyes and you can tell always gravitational force acts on the body. Clear? Now third thing about that. First one, definition. Second one is when it acts. Third one is what is its direction. Okay, the direction of gravitational force is always vertically downwards. What is that, sir? Vertically downwards. Remember this. Okay, na? So this is, so it acts vertically downwards or vertically towards center of the earth also, we can tell. So clear? Gravitational force definition, it's denoted by Fg, and always it acts, okay, and its direction is vertically downwards. Clear, Nana? Right, now let us go for second thing, magnetic force. What is that? Magnetic force. You might have played with magnets. Did you? Yes. So magnetic force. So its definition is the force exists between a magnet and other magnet or magnetic substances. Okay, the force exists between a magnet, okay, and another magnet or magnetic substances. Another magnet or magnetic substances like iron, okay, that force we are calling as magnetic force. Okay, let us take a magnet. You know, bar magnet I have taken. This has two poles, north pole and south pole. When I place a iron nail here, what is that? Iron nail. Okay, na? This is an iron nail. Then what happens? You might have played. This will be pulled towards that. The magnet is pulling the iron nail. So here it is pulling. So pulling is nothing but what, sir? It is force. Okay, who are applying force here? Magnet is applying force. That's why this force is magnetic force. Clear? So similarly, when I place another magnet here, okay, with north pole and south pole, then what happens? We learnt laws of magnetism. Like poles repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. These north and south are unlike, so that there will be a attraction. Okay, this magnet pulls this one, this magnet pulls this one. So this is pulling and it is a magnetic force. Okay, so let me take another magnet, north and south, and other magnet I have taken, and I place the like poles now, north and north. Then what happens? You will observe this magnet push this magnet, and similarly this magnet push this magnet. Here you can see a push. What do you see, sir? A push. Push is also the mean of application of force. Means the way we can apply the force is a push also. See here, this is pulling. This pulling is called attraction. What do you call this as? Attraction. Okay, this pushing is called as repulsion. So whereas gravitational force, only it is attraction. Okay, it is only one kind of force. But here magnetic force, there are two. One is attraction, second one is repulsion. Understood, everyone? Okay, whereas mass, it is only attraction. Whereas magnet and other magnetic substances, you can see attraction and repulsion. Clear, Nana? So this is about magnetic force. Now second thing, when it acts. Okay, when it acts, when there is a magnet or magnetic substance. Okay, na? When there is a magnet and a magnetic substance, then magnetic force acts. Okay, then third one is what is its direction. What is its direction? It can have two, sir. One is attraction and second one is repulsion. Okay, attraction, see that this is the attraction, this is the repulsion. Clear? So this is about magnetic force. When magnetic force acts, when there is a magnet and other magnet or magnetic substances, then magnetic force acts. So it is two kinds. One is attraction and second one is repulsion. Attraction means it is towards, repulsion means it is away from that body. Clear? Right. Now coming to third one. What is that? In non-contact force. Very good. Electrostatic force. What is that, Nana? Electrostatic force. Yeah, come on. Third one. Simple. Electrostatic force. You might have experienced this force in your general life. Where, sir? So whenever you just stand in front of a TV screen, okay, then you observe that your hair will be standing on your skin. Your hair will be standing on your screen. Okay, that is because of electrostatic force. Or else you can do a small experiment to know the electrostatic force. You take a comb. Okay, you take a comb and you comb your dry hair. Okay, you comb your dry hair with the help of a comb. Now bring the comb, okay, after combing your hair, near the pieces of paper, near the small tiny pieces of paper. Then you will observe that the tiny pieces will stick to the comb. The tiny pieces will stick to the comb. Okay, this is also one of the experiment. And second one is you take a pen, ballpoint pen. Okay, and just rub this ballpoint pen with your dry hair again. Okay, after rubbing the ballpoint pen with dry hair, it should be glass. Okay, or plastic. Then bring near the piece of paper so that you can observe that the pen attracts the piece of paper. Okay, so this is also electrostatic force examples. Now see here, the force before rubbing, there is no force between that. Yes, after rubbing, the force exists. Okay, no, sir? So is it gravitational force? Gravitational force acts always. Before rubbing, it attracts. Okay, so that is the gravitational force. But before rubbing, it is not stick to the comb. After rubbing only, it is sticking to the comb. That means it is not gravitational force, not magnetic force, because there is no magnet. So it is some other force, and this is electrostatic force. What force is that? Electrostatic force. So while you are rubbing, what happens is charge will be transferred from one body to another body. Okay, charge. What is that, Nana? Charge. So electrons will be transferred from one body to another body, and a charge is created on the body, so that the force is acting between the charged body and another charged or neutral body. That force we are calling as what, Nana? Electrostatic force. Clear? Okay, the force acting between a charged body and another charged body or neutral body. That force we call as electrostatic force. Clear? Now second thing, when this force acts, when there is a charge or charged body, this force comes into play. Okay, and then what is its direction? Here also you can see attraction and repulsion. Okay, you know that positive charge and another positive charge repel each other. Okay, and you take positive charge and another negative charge attract each other. Okay, no, sir? So like charges and unlike charges. Like charges repel each other. Unlike charges attract each other. Clear? So it is also two kinds. Now in non-contact forces, except gravitational force, remaining all are two kinds: attraction, repulsion. Okay, so charge are of two kinds: positive charge and negative charge. Clear, Nana? So that's why. Now you might have observed in non-contact forces there is no contact between the objects. Yes, so this is earth and a fruit. Is there any physical contact between them? Direct contact? No. Okay, you take a magnet and other magnet. Force acts. Is there any contact between them? Are these two are touching with each other? No. Now you take a comb and you place near the piece of paper. Is there any touching contact? No. So these are all what Nana comes under non-contact forces. Understood everyone? So these are the three types of non-contact forces. Clear? So in our next class we will discuss about contact forces.